What's up, what's up, what's up? Give some time to come on in. Live for a second. Uh-oh. What's going on, everybody? You guys tuning in. Episode 8. Hey, let you guys know I'm here. Episode 8. You guys see the title. We do a little subject a little different. Hey, everybody like and share. We're gonna go kind of deep. Find out some good stuff. I did a lot of research on these guys. Everybody second, everybody please like and share. It's gonna be a good one, guys. Hey, we got some stuff. A lot of time in South Carolina, we get slept, or the Carolinas, we get slept on our lineage. Especially we seem to have a direct connection with New York City and a lot of the heroin trade that went on in the early not early 80s, but like the 70s. Everybody like and share, please like and share. Let's get it going. It's gonna be a good one, guys. It's gonna be a good one. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Please like and share. Thank you for tuning in. All right, guys. This episode, top 5 gangsters of the Carolinas. Now I combine them with South Carolina and North Carolina. Top 5 gangsters of the Carolinas. Guys, please comment. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, let me know if it's a gangster that you want mentioned that's not mentioned. Let me know, cause I'm not saying I know them all, but we're gonna try to go, pretty deep. You know what I'm saying? I did some research, and we got some big boss hogs that come from the Carolinas. I'm not talking about just workers. I'm talking about some real big boss hogs come from the Carolinas, South Carolina and North Carolina. So number 1 on the list from South Carolina, we're gonna start with Bumpy Johnson. Now, right now, Bumpy Johnson is a real big topic because everybody know Bumpy Johnson got a new show out on television show called, it's a network called Epic. It's called the Godfather of Harlem. Now, for those who don't know, everybody hear the story about Bumpy Johnson. That's right, Bumpy. Bumpy was Lawrence Fishburne in Hood. Well, Lawrence Fishburne played Bumpy Johnson in the Hoodlum. And they didn't really like push it, but that's who he was. He was Bumpy in Hoodlum. Bumpy Johnson is from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. That's correct. He's from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Bumpy Johnson was a big enforcer in the 50s and the 60s. Big time enforcer. He did a lot of work with the mafia family. He was big time. He did a lot of work with the mafia family. He was famously known for being the main associate for Charles Luciano, which later became known as the Genovese crime family, which is one of the original 5 crime families in New York City. Everybody know the mafia movies. Everybody know Lucky Luciano. Well, Bumpy was his not right-hand man per se, because the mob believed in sticking with their own. But he was one of his very known associates, which mean they did business together. They ran the numbers together, because back then the numbers was the big business. Everybody ran the numbers, which is now the modern day lottery. Which I guess the states got wise enough and realized these guys make a lot of money off this thing. We can do it ourselves, cut them out, because we already made them rich from prohibition. Because when they cut prohibition, has made more millionaires than any other business in America. So they know they got rich off that. So the states got rise and said let's do the numbers. Well, Bumpy Johnson was one of the big enforcers with the numbers. He also offered protection for people. Like if your store is in Harlem, he's the godfather of Harlem. Your store in Harlem, Bumpy will say, man, give me $300 a week and I'll make sure nothing happens to your business. Give me $300 a week and I'll make sure the union business is straight. I'll make sure you have no problems. I'll make sure no other gang members or mafia members or enforcers gonna bother you because you be under my protection. And he also had legit businesses also. That's a lot of people know about Bumpy. That's why those guys never got turned in by their neighborhood, because they did so much for the neighborhood that everybody loved them. You know what I'm saying? They made it real easy. Everybody loved them. So they're like, well, we're going to look out for Bumpy because Bumpy look out for us. This man is sending people to school, colleges, help start businesses. So he's been a great guy in the eyes of the people of Harlem. So that's Bumpy Johnson, #1 on the list, because he has a long lineage that comes straight from him. But he's #1 on the list. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina, guys. And he ran Harlem for years until he died of a heart attack. He died of a heart attack. So that's #1 on the list. Hey, guys, you coming in? Please like and share. Like and share. All right. #2 on our list. This is a guy that you might not have heard of. His name is Fritz, but his real name is Richard Fritz Simmons. He was born in Brooklyn. He was born in New York. It's not quite sure whether it's Brooklyn or Harlem he was born at, but he was living in New York City. His father committed a robbery. He tried to rob some cops and it went bad. He got shot. So he was born in New York, but he was raised in the Carolinas. He was actually raised in Charleston, where he came to live with his mother. His mother raised him in Charleston. His name is Richard Fritz Simmons. Now, you might not know Fritz, but these are names you do know. You guys ever heard of Alpo? Yes. You guys ever heard of Rich Porter? I'm pretty sure you have. You guys ever heard of AZ? These are the 3 characters from the movie Paid in Full. Everybody not seen Paid in Full. Well, these 3 guys, Rich, Alpo, and AZ, 3 famous guys from AZ, was 3 of the biggest kingpins in Harlem at that time. Well, guess what? These 3 guys were getting their stuff from one guy named Fritz. Well, he was one of the connects. A black guy named Fritz. And guess where he's from? Charleston, South Carolina. So it's mighty funny. These country bumpkins, according to how the New York cats, these country bumpkins now went up there and took over their trade and helped them and take their trade to another level. Cause when you got these guys down here working hard, see that's where them New York guys, the guys messed up at. You take a boy from the cotton fields and sharecropping and these chicken fields, even though we're not going to endorse drug dealing because it's bad. It's bad. But you take those guys that got that kind of mindset from a field, and then you take them to New York City and they take that same work ethic and put it their mind to something that society seems bad as selling drugs. They can't be stopped. That's why they move up and they're able to take over and this goes so far ahead, like Bumpy Johnson did. He's straight from Charleston to up there. Now you got the guy named Fritz. Like I said again, the guy Richard Fritz Simmons, who were 3 of his biggest clients. He was the main supplier of Alpo, Rich Porter, and AZ. These are the 3 characters from Paid in Full. Yeah, they can't end the same. These are the 3 characters from Paid in Full. This guy named Fritz from Charleston, South Carolina. He moved to Harlem. I'm trying to say, hey, you're right, but you take a guy from down here in the South. Our hustle different from them cats up north. I don't care what they say. We work hard. You talking about guys coming straight from fields to the city. They're gonna take over. They're just gonna take over. So that's Richard Fritz Simmons. Hey guys, if you're watching it, please like and share. This is Richard Fritz Simmons. You can look him up on YouTube. A lot of documentaries about him. Guy, he was very low key. He wasn't too flashy, but they all respected him. If you look it up, y'all gonna mention his name. Fritz, he was that guy. There was some speculation he was getting 100 to 200 bricks a week. Don't know where he's getting it from, but he was that guy. But guess where he's from? Charleston, South Carolina. South Carolina got another check. Now I'm going to talk about another guy we don't know. He's from North Carolina. He's from Durham, North Carolina. His name is Frank Matthews. Not to be confused with Frank Lucas, but his name is Frank Matthews. And Frank Matthews, his name was, he also was known as Black Caesar. Let me tell you guys about Frank Matthews. Man, I did some research on Frank Matthews all this week. Frank Matthews is a guy they don't want to talk about much, because guess what? Frank Matthews is in the 1% that got away. They still don't know where Frank Matthews is. Frank Matthews from Durham, North Carolina. Let me tell you guys something about Frank Matthews. Everybody seen the movie American Gangster with Frank Lucas. These guys said Frank Matthews made Frank Lucas look like a little boy. Make him look like he's a little leaguer. You know what I'm saying? He's a small timer. You know what I'm saying? That's how big Frank Matthews was. Frank Matthews was up here. Frank Lucas is down here. To give you guys some equivalents, this in the late 1960s, 1970s, they was in the heroin trade. He was one of the first guys who bypassed the mafia to get his own stuff. And the mafia didn't respect him. And he didn't like the mafia neither, because they didn't want to do business with him because the way his skin, well, they would do business with him, but they wouldn't do the kind of business that he wanted. So Frank Matthews was so much the big head honcho. In the 1960s, he was supplying heroin to 21 states. 21 states. So think about this. He was the guy that was selling it to those guys who supplied their states. 21 states. He was also known as the guy, he did the Atlanta Coalition, where he met with all the black and Spanish drug dealers on the East Coast. Well, we can never say all or every and anything, but a lot of the big guys, he met with them in Atlanta and created his own coalition. And the guys they did an investigation on him by accident. They didn't even know what he was doing. What happened was he was living in a nice hotel apartment. Not apartment, excuse me guys. He lived in a nice apartment complex. And a cop lived in an apartment complex. But the cop called the cops on him because he had no parking spaces. And he said he saw all these cars with out-of-state tags going to this one apartment. They're like, who is this guy? Because, you know, in their mind, can't no black guy get no kind of operation with this many people involved. Did an investigation on him. 21 states. Frank Matthews, Black Caesar. The guy had so much money, they said this guy would have $1 million here. And $1 million, they're like equivalent to like, I don't know. I got to do the math. I think it's like $5 million equivalent now. The guy had so much money, so they got him on an indictment in Vegas. If you want to look him up, just go to YouTube, type in Frank Matthews. Great guy. This is what I'm talking about. All the gangsters that come from the Carolinas, that we don't get no love. All these New York cats, because a lot of these cats that you see that was the man in New York, guess where they're from? They're from the Carolinas. A lot of these cats during the 70s, they are from the Carolinas, whether it's North Carolina, South Carolina, and I'm gonna even give Mississippi some love, but this video is just directly to the Carolinas. North Carolina, South Carolina, our kingpins. But he was just a man, and he never got caught. To this day, the U.S. Marshals are still looking for him. He got a tip that they were going to try to give him life, took off. Still can't find him. So, let's start from number one. Number one, we got Bumpy Johnson, King of Harlem, Godfather Harlem. 2, we got Fritz Simmons, the supplier to Alpo, Rich Porter, and AZ. He's number 2. And number 3, we have Frank Matthews, everybody knows as Black Caesar. One of the only drug dealers to get away. They still can't find him. He made millions of dollars. Millions of dollars in the 70s. He made this kind of money in the 70s. Number 3. Now we're going to do number 4. Now we're going to do the guy everybody know. I'm going to give some love. You know, the more I research, the more I realize the movie was embellished. And number 4 is Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas, known from American Gangster. Frank Lucas They said he was moving a lot of heroin. Yes, he was. But the more I did research on it, the more I realized that the movie is more embellished than what it really is. It's a little bit more embellished. And Frank Lucas was born in North Carolina. He was raised in Greensboro. You know, he left Greensboro. Yo, Frankie, baby. That's right, Trey. But Frank Lucas, but I realized that they embellished the story a lot. Frank Lucas was the guy. Frank Lucas, he was selling to the tri-state, which Frank Matthews was selling to 21 states. Frank Lucas was only selling really to the tri-state, which was New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the tri-state area. But Frank Lucas was the guy. He moved up from North Carolina. Again, that Carolina work ethic, you can't beat it. We go to that place and take it over. He came from North Carolina, and his story gets a little fuzzy because he said he was under Bumpy, but then I did my own research to say he was not quite under Bumpy, but he might have been around Bumpy because you see, I remember, Bumpy was the man. So Bumpy got plenty of workers around him. Bumpy got plenty of guys around him who, I don't want to say do boys, but you know, Bumpy he employed a lot of people. Let's say that. So if somebody said they worked with Bumpy, they might have, but they wasn't his right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit embellished. But Frankie Lucas was moving a lot of things. And he was doing his thing in the tri-state area. And that's, again, the Carolina hustle. You can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? That Carolina hustle, you got them boys coming from chicken farms and cotton fields and soybean fields and all that kind of stuff. They go to New York, they take over. It's just them. They're taking that work ethic, that hard work ethic, and just moving into something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's Frank Lucas. Everybody seen American Gangster. Everybody know what Frank did. I was giving him a look. I'm doing the top 5 gangsters from the Carolinas. Like and share, guys. So let's go down the list again. Number 1, Bumpy Johnson. Number 2, Richard Fritz Simmons. Now these guys, you guys can go do research on them on YouTube. Number 2, Richard Fritz Simmons. Number 3, Frank Matthews. Number 4, Frank Lucas. And number 5, I'm going to give a guy, I hope somebody will give me another gangster from the Carolinas, because it could be a local gangster, because I don't want to say nobody's name, because I don't know what's what. But number 5, I'm going to give a guy love named Ike. Ike was really Frank Lucas' plug. He's another guy from North Carolina. And he was over in, you know, Vietnam and Tokyo, Japan, and all that kind of stuff. And he was actually the guy, he was actually the plug. The more I watch American Gangster, the more I realize Frank lying. Frank Lucas was a liar, and he put a lot of sauce on that story to sell it. Denzel played the heck out of that role now, but a lot of sauce got put on that story to sell it. Guy named Ike, also from North Carolina, and he was related to Frank, was Frank's cousin. He was the real plug over there. He was the guy sending it back to Frank Lucas. And he said he didn't like the part about when they put the movie about them putting the dope inside the dead bodies of the soldiers. He said that was false. I don't know. That's what he said. It's up to him. We don't know. But that's up to him. This because I'm trying to do something different. This is Marvel Sports of Life. I'm going to talk about my Lakers. So we're going to go down to the top 5. Well, the top 5 gangsters of the Carolinas. You guys want to debate in the comments. Let me know some gangsters that you think should have been in there, but they got to be from the Carolinas. North Carolina, South Carolina. They got to be from the Carolinas. Number 1, Bumpy Johnson. Number 2, Richard Fritz Simmons. Number 3, Frank Matthews. Number 4, Frank Lucas. And number 5, Ike. All from North Carolina and South Carolina. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's what that is. That's the top 5 gangsters of the Carolinas. Let me know what you guys think. Leave comments, like, and share. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit. Now I'm going to talk about the Lakers and how the Lakers are turning things around. LeBron is back, baby. LeBron James is back. LeBron James figuring it out. We got AD back. We got Kyle Kuzma being that closer we know he's supposed to be. Kyle Kuzma is our closer. We finally got a closer because every time LeBron needs a teammate to help him out, because he not carrying the whole load on his shoulders, we finally got somebody in Kyle Kuzma. Shout out to Kuzma being back. You know he's working himself out with the minutes. He's back. We got AD back. AD killing it. AD is kind of hurt, but he's learning to play through it. Dwight Howard, balling out. You know what I'm saying? And I want to get because I'm on Instagram too. I want to give a shout out to my Green Bay Packers, who beat the Panthers. That one for you, Rudy. That one. that one from you. Oh, my dog told me another top 5 gangster from South Carolina is Sweet Pea. They giving him he's getting mentioned as top 5 gangster from South Carolina. Sweet Pea. You guys know better than me. You know what he done. You know who he is. That put some respect on his name, Sweet Pea. Because I think sometime from here, I don't know how should I say that. We should celebrate that's not celebrate our criminals, but that's show them love for what they did and the person they changed to be. We don't have to look, even we want to look up our heroes, we can look right here. We don't have to look at those guys from the city, because I'm telling you, I just named, let me see, out of this list, 1, 2, all 5 of them made their bones in New York City. And if you let New York tell it, they from Harlem. They're not from Harlem. They're from South Carolina and North Carolina. That's where they're from. They're not from New York City. They just made their bones in New York City, and they just came up in New York City. Bumpy Johnson, Harlem, Godfather of Harlem. But you know who he is? Charleston, South Carolina. Fritz Simmons, the plug to Alpo, Rich, and AZ. You know where he's from? Raised Charleston, South Carolina. Frank Matthews, known as Black Caesar, made more money than anybody. And this is coming from I did my research this week. The DEA say they don't care what Frank Lucas say, what them guys say. Frank Matthews made way more money than them. You know what they said about Frank Matthews? That's pretty interesting to me. And DEA and U.S. Marshals, they don't like to give a lot of criminals credit. I noticed that. They usually say they're gangsters or thugs or whatever. They say one thing they get about Frank Matthews, they say he was an intelligent man. And he did not fear the mob. He's the one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you another side note about Frank Matthews. This tripped me out. He moved from, I'm gonna say they're living in the Bronx or something like that. He got a house in Staten Island. Not just any neighborhood in Staten Island. He wanted to move right next to the mob bosses. Right next to Paul Castellano. Don't call me Paul Castellano, and it's another guy. I'm gonna just say he moved to the guy that John Gotti killed to become boss. He moved in between them. You think they like that? No. And word was they told him, if you know what's good for you, man, remember this guy's a boss. That's why this guy's a legend. He's one of the few guys that ever stood up to him. He didn't have a fear of the mob. They told him, boy, in so many words, boy, you need to move from here. You know, he told him, I'm not moving. And if you touch one of my guys, there's going to be consequences. So I'm like, they don't show that part. They always show that, the mob and we being scared of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, show the other part. You know what I'm saying? I also got to give a shout out to my boy Rude on here. I can talk about the Hill. So I'm going to get a Hill love. You know, they know who they are. Shouts out to y'all guys for being who y'all are. Shouts out to everybody doing who they are. And shouts out to everybody changing. That's the double entendre now. We giving shout out to the Gangsters of Carolina, but all those guys right now, I tell you how they change, and they wouldn't tell you to follow in their footsteps. Those guys, they did their crime, and they are who they were, and they are legends for what they did. But they did change. So that's give love to the change also. You know what I'm saying? Them guys are who they were. I just want to show that. Sometimes I don't think us as South Carolinians take pride in being South Carolinians, or even North Carolinians. That's why I shout out to we even getting our own rappers now, and I think we need to take pride in what we have here. I know my platform is being watched by more South Carolinians, but this one is for South Carolinians. We need to take pride in the things we have. Take pride in our ball players. Take pride in our. That's why shout out to the baby, who's a rapper, who is, because he showed the Carolinas love, and when he say them do for Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, Because we need to take pride in where we from. That's not pretend to be from somewhere else. That's not always look to the other people. That's take pride in what we have. You know what I'm saying? And that's push each other forward. That's support each other. Let's help each other out. You know what I'm saying, guys? Hey, please like and share the video. Think this one gonna do something. Like I say, hey, if I left some gangsters out that you feel should be mentioned, shout out to Rudy for naming one, Sweet Pea from Saginaw, North Carolina. I'm gonna mention them all, but I'm also gonna mention that they change and they become a better person. Hopefully, become a better person in society, and they see what they did wrong and how whatever they did affected the community in a negative way, and now they're trying to change what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because people change, people grow, people not who they once was, and change is gonna come. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Like and share. Let's make this one big. I want to do more content. Some content. I'm also, of course, as my last fight, I mentioned Braun doing this thing and Aaron Rodgers doing this thing. But I want to change the content sometime too. You guys, give me some stuff you want to talk about. If you want to come on live, I'll bring you on live. We can discuss live. As long as everybody keep it respectful and no profane language as much as possible. I want to bring you on so we can talk. We can have live chats. Let me know what you think. Talk some trash, because I'm always down to talk trash about sports, because I know my stuff. And thank you guys, man. Signing out. Mm-hmm.